is that? Sudden genre change from glam metal, power metal. It is now like chill jazz fusion. Wow. Terraria Calamity has great music? I know. Here's some more. Wow, nice. I love how it started with this very recognizable breakbeat jungle theme, and then we have a leitmotif. Looks like this is one of those songs where it's written in a melodic way because the melody is very clear, very standout, and the other elements such as the rhythm and the harmony are pretty much staying in the background, not even having some complex textures, and they're out there to support the melody. So this is one of my favorite types of compositional writing, which is melodic writing. Yeah. Oh my God. I believe this is like 20 plus song that I've already listened to in the Terraria Calamity soundtrack. And by now, I'm starting to recognize some signature DM Dokuro tropes. He uses a lot of ascending harmonic cadences. And these are like rising chord progressions to uplift the song to a more heightened level. And now we have this new section right here, happier sounding melody compared to the more serious tone in the beginning. And then it repeats in the second section with added textures. And now we have here a more heightened feeling, a lilting, more positive feeling of the musical direction. I think this is one of those standard DM Dokuro combinations. They have massive orchestral sound, jungle, breakbeat, house EDM style to support with a jungle, breakbeat, house EDM rhythm sections, and a very synthwave, chiptune-like melodic instrument. This is a fascinating section right here. I'm hearing a lot of influences. Again, I think it's a favorite of DM Dokuro, using a lot of influences from Baroque Bach music, especially as that is something you will hear most of the time in fugal music, which is common format in the Baroque era, especially in Bach's compositions for the organ, the pipe organ. I believe you know his most famous one is the Toccata in Fugue in D minor, which you hear a lot in vintage horror movies. He also composed a lot of other keyboard instrument compositions, such as for harpsichord, for piano, or technically it's called the clavier. The traditional piano that we have has not yet invented until much later. These kinds of melodies in this section are very keyboardistic, very characteristic of someone who plays the piano. So I kind of suspect that, like most music producers or like most composers, DM Dokuro is also a pianist. I believe that is one of the more simplistic approaches that DM Dokuro used for writing the music. And I'm not saying simplistic in a bad way. It means he approached it with a more simplistic musical composition approach. He has this beautiful melody, very solid, very clear direction. So he just decided to support it with harmony and rhythms. In some of his other compositions, he uses a lot of counterpoints, a lot of textures and atmospheres and ambiances that is not necessarily focused on melody. In fact, we have a lot of other soundtracks that we have listened to from Calamity that don't even have a melody at all. That is just one of the many approaches of composition. I am pretty much a melody-centric type of composer. By the way, a lot of you have told me that the songs in the soundtrack, the Calamity soundtrack, loop 2 or 3 times. I actually think that's a good thing because sometimes, as with human nature, you can't always hear some details during the first listen. It's kind of a blessing that these videos on YouTube, on his channel. So yeah, by the way, subscribe to his channel if you're not already. I'm pretty sure you are if you're already a Calamity fan. I like that they loop because I hear new details at the second and sometimes the third repeat. So yeah, it's nice that they're looping. Unholy Insurgency. Wow, what an epic title. How does it sound? Let's listen. Oh my god, how can it sound so sinister in like the first 2 bars and then suddenly sound angelic? That's actually amazing. Reminded me a little bit of the Nobuo Uematsu masterpiece from Final Fantasy VI, Dancing Mad. It has that same sinister feeling, but we have tubular bells here because DM Dokuro loves his tubular bells. Totally tubular. Oh, wow. Okay. Two things that I noticed. DM Dukuro definitely loves his key changes, but he always likes to jump key changes without warning. Most of the time, if composers want to be a little bit sneaky about key changes, they use this trope called sequence. Bach uses it a lot, in which he uses the chords that are part of the original key, but then moves it to another chord that is part of this key, but also part of the next key, and then it's usually in the relation of fifths. Jumping on fifths and fifths, we call it in music theory the circle of fifths. But sometimes there are composers who have no time for all that finesse. He just wants you to immediately jump to the next key, and DM Dukuro does that a lot. You know, it has a certain charm to it. I'm not gonna lie. Wow, that was such a beautiful part. So uplifting. Definitely an anime opening trope. Very uplifting to listen to. When you see me listening to the song and I'm just clutching my heart, I'm just getting that feeling. Oh my God, this is so beautiful, so uplifting. And I'm pretty sure I'm not alone in this. Just a little bit of information here from the music theory world. What you heard there that is used by DM Dukuro is a technique called pedal tone, where the bass line, the note of the bass line, stays static while the chords or the notes at the top change for a few measures while the bass line stays. Fun fact. There's a little bit of Chemical Brothers in that synth right there, not gonna lie. There is again the immediate modulation or the immediate key change. Very typical to his style by now. Oh my God. Those last two measures, you can't help but just smile by how happy sounding it is. So intense. Even the synths that he used are some of the more sinister sawtooth tones, where it's like very, very buzz. But the melody, oh my God, it's just so happy sounding. are those DM Dokuro bells again. By now, one of my favorite combinations that he uses, orchestral choir with some string beds in there, very aggressive synth leads and synth basses, and just, absolutely hectic drums with breakbeat characteristics. Oh my god, yeah. That's a delicious combination, I would say. There's a reason why I kind of like using more general terms when describing the music. Although I could do a very deep music theory, heavy jargon type of video, I think that's more really for fellow musicians to be talking like that. In my opinion, music is meant to evoke emotions, make you cry, make you laugh, make you jump for joy. At the end of the day, these musical theories, they are not musical laws. They are mere suggestions. They are maybe important for a certain demographic, but for me, it's all about, does the music sound good? Does it make you cry? Does it make you lie on your bed and, remember the memories from your past and something like that? For me, it's all about the humanity of the music. That's what's important for me. And this is why I mostly use terms that everyone can understand, because it's all about the music. I'm always very excited to check out new video game music, so suggest me some in the comments. This here is called Feral Amalgamation. Let's go. Wow, okay. Starting with a very traditional arpeggio passage, reminiscent of the Final Fantasy prelude, with a dressing of power metal rhythms and lots of synth waves. But he started out with a straight 2/4 or 4/4 rhythm, and then this next section that I just heard a few seconds of, sudden change to 6/8, and I love that. Simply because 6/8, the 6/8 meter, there's a reason why most traditional Irish jigs are in the 6/8 meter, because Irish jigs are meant to be danceable, festive music. Intensify that feeling in a power metal setting, you get something truly intense, active, and oh my god, super energetic. Will I be right? Is this upcoming section gonna be that? If my eyes widen, you know the answer. is that? Sudden genre change from glam metal, power metal with a solid electric guitar lead. It is now like chill jazz fusion with a fretless bass style melody. Wow! I love fretless bass when it does melodies like this. Yes, sinister sounding choirs, a very minor chord melody, and the signature bells. A nice, quick respite before we intensify once again. I just realized the kick drum and the rhythm guitar are doing unison meters, something that you would hear in metalcore or prog rock, or what they would call math metal or math rock. Yeah, it's meant to be very calculated, almost mathematic meter, beat by beat. Every microbeat has to be like exact. The bass, the kick, and the rhythm guitar all playing the same pattern in unison. It's a great display of being a solid band, especially if it's done live. Nice. I think it would be interesting to compose an original composition based on the style of Calamity, but if I were to be choosing the combination, I think Feral Amalgamation is the instrumental combination I would choose. Synth leads, orchestral backgrounds, some hints of choral sounds, but a very prog metal or math metal approach to the rhythm section. Let me know if you want me to do that in a future video. Beautiful song. Masterpiece. Another masterpiece. I think a lot of these songs from the Calamity soundtrack are absolute masterpieces. This is a song called Toxic Wisdom. Let's go. Wow. Okay. Prog metal, synthwave, jazz fusion. Oh my God. Every single genre that I love. And it all sounds very breathtaking, very epic and lush together. Whoa, wow, that's such a unique combination. I rarely hear that. So you're hearing these arpeggios, dun, 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 dun. I think they are synth keyboards or electric pianos. And we have this solid rhythm section, prog rock style, heavy metal style. But I'm hearing somewhat in the background, you can hear it. I'm not sure yet, but it does sound like a trumpet or a synth trumpet or probably an oboe. But wow, that is such a unique combination, and you don't normally hear symphonic metal, heavy metal vibes, and then a trumpet doing single lines, like a single trumpet solo. You would usually hear that trumpet as part of a brass section, but not usually as a soloist. So this is very interesting. Yeah, somehow, even if it's in the heavy metal genre, it is both energetic and relaxing. The energetic part of it, of course, comes from the drums, the heavy metal guitar riffs, and the electric bass. But then he floods your ears with these lush sounding crystalline synth pads with a synth piano or piano sounding instrument that is just flooded in reverb. He joins these two ear candy combinations. Very epic and relaxing. There it is again, a favorite of DM Dokuro. I believe he loves to insert a happy sounding, a positive sounding musical passage in between gritty, massive, epic, serious, dramatic pieces. So like for example, like this one, he started this song with a powerful, progressive, symphonic metal style of music. In the middle of it, he inserts this uplifting, almost angelic-like passage. And then he goes back to the dramatic one. He always likes to insert something hopeful in the middle of all these chaotic action. Yeah, lots of abrupt key changes happening here with no musical preparation, and it's very effective for a music that is meant to be like a powerful moving locomotive right in your face, something like that. And of course, I didn't forget about the signature Calamity tubular bells that we keep hearing in every other bar or so. Yeah, beautiful masterpiece right here. So many masterpieces in the Terraria Calamity soundtrack. And for more of my content, click here.